Hello everyone and welcome to my Y&R Insider 24 update channel. Claire's bold move pushes Kyle to his breaking point. According to The Young and the Restless spoilers, Claire Newman's, Hayley Erin, troubled past is influencing her current actions. Connecting with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, isn't in the same category as conspiring with her late aunt to kill her parents and maternal family members. However, manipulative behavior appears to be part of a pattern. Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, was worried that Claire would fall under Holden's spell when she agreed to travel with him to Los Angeles, California. It's likely that Claire was aware that provoking jealousy was a factor, which is why she gave Kyle access to those particulars, which viewers pondered. Claire is still in LA, while Kyle had to fly home to help his parents attempt to fend off an anticipated business attack from Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. Therefore, Kyle won't know the whole story about what Claire did until later. Jordan Howard remains the bad influence. Jordan Howard, Colleen Zenk, stole Eve, later dubbed Claire, from Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinle, and Cole Howard, J. Eddie Peck, at birth. That heinous act and the many others that followed naturally impacted Claire. However, Erin's character is a grown adult. She's removed in both real and soap time from Jordan's grip. What we know about Catherine Bark's hospitalization following surgery complications view story. It appears Claire is suffering more from inexperience with matters of the heart as opposed to revisiting the demons Jordan injected into her mind and heart. Claire's guilt over her rash decision to go to Los Angeles with Jordan and then be with him shows that she still has feelings for Kyle. Holden Novak's backstory isn't revealed. He doesn't want to focus on Holden's past. However, he agreed to accompany Claire on her tour. Taking her to the Shadow Room was intriguing. From a psychological perspective, why would Holden take Claire to a place where he must have known he might meet Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun? Zuleika Silva's Audra Charles will soon be in Los Angeles as well. Claire is more likely to gain a deeper understanding of the negative circumstances Audra and Holden were involved in while they were both living in California thanks to her persona. So, the intention could be to push the plot in doing so. Kyle Abbott requires space and time. Claire told Kyle she didn't want to be smothered by him. She paused, however, when he said he was going back to Genoa City, Wisconsin, indicating that she was still uneasy. Harrison Abbott, Redding Munsell, was able to have a wonderful Halloween because Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, needed his son to help him defend Jabot. When Claire saw the picture Kyle sent her, she realized that she wanted to be a part of the event Harrison planned for her to be a part of. Through his father's summons, Kyle has learned about time and space. With that, he'll be able to digest what he saw in LA. That, along with his eventual knowledge of the romantic connection Claire sought with Holden, will alter how Kyle views his relationship with the woman he loves. Everything related to The Young and the Restless can be found on this website, which is a leading resource. Check back regularly for Y&R spoilers and news. Who is Holden's father? Claire tells Kyle about her souvenir from Los Angeles. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, spoilers hint that now would be a perfect time for a Who's the Daddy storyline now that Claire Newman, Hayley Erin, has slept with both Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, in recent days. What would make this old-fashioned plot sizzle? How about the fact that Holden is carrying a lot of secrets, with the biggest one being his job from Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, to get close to Claire? Is this what he had in mind? Let's unpack the circumstances leading up to Claire and Holden's Los Angeles getaway that ended the way many fans thought it would. Are Claire and Holden about to have a baby? Claire fled Genoa City to escape Kyle and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, their nemesis. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to do so with Audra's ex. Be that as it may, it looks like the trip could lead to an unexpected souvenir. In the episode that aired on October 31st, Claire unleashed her inner bad girl as they had a fiery hotel hookup. Does Claire have a bun in the oven? We don't know if Claire and Holden used protection, but there was no mention of it, and it only takes one time to make a baby. Will Kyle be devastated if Claire gets pregnant by Holden? Chances are good he will, since he loves her with the fury of 1,000 suns. Kyle went to Los Angeles to protect Claire from Holden, but his hasty tactics only served to bring them closer together. Could Claire be on the rocks? Despite the fact that her mom Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinle, also flew out in part to spy on Holden and Claire. It looks like Claire did exactly what she wanted. But it's one thing for Claire to enjoy spending time Holden and another to be co-parents with him. If Claire and Holden are pregnant, and we're just speculating here, she will have a permanent tie to him. Everyone has warned Claire to take it slow with Holden, and we predict that the dirt about to come out about he and Audra will shock and dismay her. According to the Juicy the Young and the Restless spoilers, Claire's life is about to get much more complicated. Tell us Y&R fans, will the big reveal come too late for Claire to distance herself from shady Holden? Catch up on everything that's going on with the Young and the Restless right now by watching it all again. Get comfy and gain access to the best soap information available online by checking back frequently for the most recent Y&R news, spoilers, and update. Claire Newman's life has been defined by chaos, manipulation, and the haunting legacy of a dark past that refuses to let her go. Claire has been living on the edge of redemption and relapse ever since her traumatic childhood under Jordan Howard's twisted influence, attempting to find light in her shadows. However, even the most well-intentioned hearts can be corrupted by desire, fear, or vengeance in Genoa City, where love and loyalty frequently clash with power and betrayal. Her recent actions, particularly her hasty getaway to Los Angeles with Holden Novak, have sparked a series of emotional outbursts that have the potential to end not only her developing relationship with Kyle Abbott but also her fragile sense of self. What began as an act of rebellion or curiosity has morphed into something far more dangerous, a test of love, trust, and identity that could redefine every relationship around her. Haunted beginnings, the weight of Jordan Howard. No one in Genoa City can forget the horrors that shaped Claire's early years. She was made into a pawn and an instrument of vengeance against the Newman family by Jordan Howard, not just kidnapped. Under Jordan's manipulation, Claire's innocence was twisted into something darker, more calculating. While Jordan may be gone, her influence lingers like a poisonous whisper in Claire's subconscious, urging her toward impulsive, self-sabotaging choices. Even now, Claire's actions bear Jordan's signature, subtle manipulation cloaked in charm, strategic vulnerability masking control. She claims to have moved on, but her patterns show otherwise. Her decision to travel with Holden, an enigmatic man with his own secrets, was not just impulsive, rather, it was a subconscious replay of a previous trauma and a reenactment of her need to be seen as well as escape. Holden Novak, the enticing newcomer with a sinister plan. Holden Novak, handsome, self-assured, and dangerous in a way that only men with secrets can be, stormed into Claire's life. His charm disarms, his mystery entices. To Claire, Holden represents freedom and escape from the watchful eyes of Kyle and the ever-present shadows of Genoa City. But Holden isn't a savior, he's a cipher. His reluctance to discuss his past only deepens the suspicion that his motives are far from pure. What Claire doesn't realize, at least not yet, is that Holden's connection to Kane Ashby could make him far more dangerous than she suspects. It's possible that his assignment to get close to her started out as business, but in Genoa City, emotions make everything more difficult. Holden's attraction to Claire seems genuine, yet the specter of deceit hangs over every moment they share. His decision to take her to the Shadow Room, a place loaded with emotional and psychological triggers, reveals both a recklessness and a hint of design. Why introduce Claire to a location where she might meet Sienna Bacall and find herself drawn into yet another emotional conflict? Maybe Holden wants her to see his world, put her to the test, and see if she can handle the chaos that makes him who he is. Or maybe it's a trap, a setup by Kane to gather intel, to destabilize her and those around her. Regardless, Claire is the unwilling prize in Holden's game. The turning point for Kyle Abbott is torn between love and duty when he returns to Genoa City. His heart belongs to Claire, but his loyalty is tethered to his family and to Jabot, the company constantly under siege by Victor Newman's latest corporate maneuvering. Kyle's absence from Los Angeles is a necessity rather than a choice. But distance can be deadly in matters of love, especially when jealousy, doubt, and half-truths begin to take root. When Claire told him about her trip with Holden, Kyle's instincts screamed danger. He recognized the flicker of defiance in her eyes, the same look she gave him the night they argued about trust, despite her calm explanation. Yet, despite his fear, Kyle chose to believe her, to give her space. That decision now haunts him. Every hour away from her feels like an invitation for betrayal. Kyle's breaking point isn't just about jealousy, it's about control. For so long, he's tried to save Claire from her past, from her own worst impulses. But in doing so, he's underestimated her independence. Claire's insistence that she didn't want to be smothered wasn't a rejection, it was a plea for understanding. But when she left, Kyle's fear of being abandoned came back stronger than ever. His worst nightmare involved losing Claire to herself rather than to danger. The Shadow Room encounter. When Holden brought Claire to the Shadow Room, he opened a door that should have stayed closed. The place's reputation precedes it, an undercurrent of forbidden encounters, emotional confessions, and unfinished business. There, in dim light and dangerous silence, Claire felt both alive and exposed. Her defenses gave way in this setting, and the lines between right and wrong were no longer discernible. Under the neon lights of the Shadow Room, their chemistry finally came to the surface after simmering for weeks. The motivation behind Claire's decision to cross that line was escape, not love. For one night, she silenced the voices of guilt and confusion. But morning brought clarity and crushing regret. She realized that no matter how thrilling the affair, her heart still belonged to Kyle. She is now caught between two men, one of whom symbolizes safety and the other of whom awakens her chaos. The consequences of passion, a potential who's the daddy, scandal. The Young and the Restless has never shied away from explosive storylines, and Claire's entanglement with both Kyle and Holden sets the stage for a classic soap opera twist, a potential pregnancy. Every character associated with her experiences tension at the very thought of it. If Claire is pregnant, the question of paternity will shake Genoa City to its core. Kyle's reaction would be volatile. His affection for Claire is deep, but his betrayal is more devastating. Kyle might interpret this as confirmation of his worst fears, that he cannot match Claire's darkness and that her need for danger outweighs her desire for stability if Holden is the father. And yet, part of him would still want to protect her, to raise the child as his own, perhaps, out of love or denial. For Holden, a pregnancy could be both an opportunity and a burden. If his involvement with Claire was indeed part of a mission orchestrated by Kane Ashby, a baby complicates everything. It permanently binds him to Claire, forcing him to consider whether his feelings for her are genuine or deliberate. And for Claire, the prospect of motherhood would bring her full circle to the trauma of her own stolen infancy and the lies that shaped her identity. Could she break the cycle, or would she repeat Jordan's sins in a new form? The return to Genoa City. While Claire lingers in Los Angeles, Kyle returns home to a city brimming with corporate intrigue and personal turmoil. Jack Abbott returns to Jabot after calling for assistance, where Victor Newman's imminent business attack threatens to undermine everything the Abbotts have constructed. Amid the chaos, Kyle finds an unexpected solace: time. Distance allows him to reflect, to see his relationship with Claire through a clearer lens. Emotions run high when Harrison is seen in his costume in a Halloween photo. Claire was supposed to be there. The picture that Kyle sends to her phone is more than just a gesture. It is also a reminder of what she is missing, the family that she could have and the life that she is slowly moving away from. Claire's defenses begin to fall apart as the guilt that the photo elicits begins to emerge. She realizes that her longing for excitement with Holden can't replace the emotional safety Kyle offers. But is it too late? Audra Charles and the deception web. Audra Charles' arrival in Los Angeles adds another layer to the growing web of secrets. Her history with Holden hints at unfinished business, romantic, professional, or both. Her presence threatens to expose Holden's motives and, by extension, the truth about Kane Ashby's involvement. Audra is Claire's formidable adversary because of her keen sense of intuition and unwavering ambition. She knows how to exploit emotional weaknesses, and she's never been one to shy away from confrontation. Sparks will fly between Claire and Audra when they finally meet, two women with overlapping desires who refuse to be tricked. The truth Audra holds could destroy Holden and shatter Claire's fragile recovery from her past. The ripple effect: family, forgiveness, and fallout. As always in Genoa City, no secret stays buried for long. Multiple families will be shocked when the truth about Claire's Los Angeles escapade, the possibility of a pregnancy, and Holden's deception is revealed. Victoria Newman, Claire's mother, will be torn between compassion and disappointment. Victoria will perceive this as a painful reminder of Jordan's deep scars and a step backward now that she has reunited with her daughter. Cole Howard, Claire's father, will likely defend her, arguing that she deserves forgiveness, not condemnation. But forgiveness in Genoa City is a fragile commodity, often overshadowed by pride and revenge. Always the patriarch, Jack Abbott will encourage Kyle to act rationally and concentrate on the bigger picture. But emotional logic rarely prevails in matters of the heart. Kyle's anger, betrayal, and confusion will fuel impulsive decisions, possibly driving him toward order again or into a destructive spiral of retaliation. The next action of Claire, recover or perish. Claire stands at a crossroads. The choices she makes in the coming weeks will determine whether she continues down the path of redemption or slips back into the darkness she's fought so hard to escape. Her relationship with Holden, no matter how intoxicating, is built on secrets. Her love for Kyle, though genuine, is suffocating under the weight of mistrust. If she's pregnant, that truth will force her to confront every part of herself, the innocent child stolen at birth, the manipulated teenager molded by Jordan, and the adult woman seeking control over her own destiny. Genoa City has seen a lot of love triangles, betrayals, and moral dilemmas. However, Claire's struggle feels different because it is layered with trauma, guilt, and a desperate desire for normalcy. Kyle's emotional reckoning. It's possible that Kyle's breaking point is not a single explosive moment but rather a gradual emotional breakdown. Watching Claire unravel, feeling powerless to protect her, and confronting the possibility that she's carrying another man's child, all of it chips away at the confident, composed man he's tried to be. He starts to doubt everything, including his worth, his instincts, and even the influence of his family. Did growing up in the shadow of Jack and Victor teach him to fight for love or to control it? His reaction will put his maturation to the test when he finally learns the truth about Claire and Holden's affair. Will he lash out, or will he finally learn to let go? The inevitable confrontation. The inevitable showdown between Kyle, Claire, and Holden promises to be one of the most emotionally charged moments in The Young and the Restless this year. The confrontation will strip away pretense and force all three to face their deepest insecurities. For Claire, it will be about honesty and accountability; for Kyle, forgiveness and strength; for Holden, truth and redemption. The fallout will ripple through every corner of Genoa City, testing friendships, breaking alliances, and redefining relationships. What began as a story about jealousy and temptation may ultimately evolve into a meditation on healing, identity, and second chances. Conclusion: the cycle of love and consequence. Claire's journey is more than a scandalous soap arc, it's a reflection of generational trauma and the eternal struggle between love and fear. Her bold move to chase freedom has pushed Kyle to his breaking point, but it may also be the catalyst for both of them to evolve. As the pieces fall into place, The Young and the Restless continues its tradition of blending emotional intensity with moral complexity. Every decision carries a price, every lie births a consequence, and every act of love risks heartbreak. Rather than denying her past, Claire will find redemption in confronting it head-on, even if it means losing the one person she truly loves.